Something I've heard a lot of med spa owners say is that I tried paid ads in the past and they just didn't work for me. Now, this is a chart showing how much is spent on Facebook and Instagram alone. And last year it was over 130 billion that people spent on paid ads. And it pretty much goes up every single year, which means that a lot of people are making money with their ads and they continue spending more each year because they make more back from what they spend. Now, we've been able to help several med spa owners generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in their med spas using paid ads. And by the end of this video, I want to show you how to actually fix the problem that you might have had with your ads. And it might have not actually been a problem with your ads. And once you fix this problem, you'll know how to scale your med spa to the next level. So there's three things that are required for consistent growth in your med spa. And those things are advertising, branding, and sales. And you need all three of them. It's like a stool. If you just have one of them, it's not good enough. Even if you have two of them, you're not really going to grow long term consistently and be successful. So if you think about your health as a stool instead of your med spa for a second, the main things that you need to be considered healthy is exercise, diet, and sleep, right? So let's say you had the best personal trainer in the world. You did the best exercise program and you followed everything exactly the way as it was outlined. But you still ate like shit and you slept 3 hours a night. Well, you wouldn't really be considered healthy, even though you did everything perfectly on the exercise side. And you might even say that exercise or working out just isn't for you, like you're not built for it. Or you might even think that the PT that you had wasn't very good at their job because you didn't get the end outcome that was supposed to happen from doing the exercise, right? And if you look at the diet, let's say you had the best diet in the world, everything was tracked, everything was non-processed, whole, organic, whatever. And you did that, but you never exercised and you just sat at a desk all day and you still slept 3 hours every single night. Well, you still wouldn't be healthy, even though your diet was pretty much perfect. And then if you slept 9 hours a night in a pitch black room and you got perfect REM sleep and everything was tracked perfectly and whatever, and you only did that and you still ate really bad food and you never worked out, then again, you wouldn't be healthy. So you can see that you need all three of these. So with your med spa, you might have had one of these or even two of these, and you're like, well, I have good ads. Why am I not growing? Well, you most likely needed to have advertising, branding, and sales all together. So I'm going to define what these terms actually mean, and then I'll tell you how to actually solve them, right? So I'll say what they all mean, and then I'll give the solution to actually how to implement them and grow your med spa with that. So advertising, first of all, is the process of making known. So any way that you let people know that you exist and you have a business is advertising. So that could be posting on social media, be running paid ads, could be reaching out to people that you know or you don't know personally through DMs, emails, or calls. That's advertising, letting people know that you exist. Now, branding is what you make known. So you know the saying that all publicity is good publicity. In business, that is hardly ever true. So let's say, for example, you got famous for doing a terrible job with something like these lip fillers right here. That would mean that you advertised very well because you became very known, but what you made known, which is your brand, wasn't good at all. And it's not going to be something that's going to help you get your goal of growing your business. So all publicity isn't good publicity in business. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that if your business isn't growing, that you have work that's comparable to this. This is just an extreme example of the importance of brand. So, if a lot of people know who you are, which is advertising, and the reason they know you is for something that's good and ideally unique, which is your branding, then the last thing that you need is sales, which is getting people to give you money. That's the definition. Simple one. So it's not enough to just have a great business and tell people about it. You actually need to get people to transact by having a sales process in place. So those are the three definitions of the three pillars on the stool that you need to grow your med spa. It's advertising, which is the process of making known, branding, which is what you make known, and sales, which is getting people to give you money. So now that you know the definitions for each of these things, doesn't mean you're just going to make money because you know what they mean. You actually need to know how to implement them into your med spa to use them. So, first of all, with advertising, which is a process of making known, in the beginning, when you're just getting started, the reality is that no one knows you exist, right? So, you need to advertise ideally every single day if you want to grow your med spa as quick as possible. So, here are the easiest ways to advertise. If you have more time than money, which is usually the case when you're getting started, the best ways are going to be to post content daily and reach out to people personally. So that could be reaching out to followers via DMs, for example. Now, I know a med spa that is making about 60K a month and they don't spend a lot on paid ads. They, whenever they get followers, they actually just DM them quite quickly and it says, "Hey, I know that you followed, saw that you followed. Thank you for that. Were you interested in getting any services done?" And a lot of people will just follow your page, but they won't say anything or comment. And if you reach out to them, they'll actually be a lot warmer and they'll go ahead and book. Now, that's something to do if you have time to do it, and you'll definitely make a return as long as you're willing to spend the time to do that. Now, if you have more money than time, then paid ads is by far the fastest way to scale your med spa. It's a lot quicker than doing it just organic with free methods. And that's how our client Tiffany was actually able to go from $2,000 per month to $119,000 per month in less than a year. And she had under 800 followers when she did this. So this is something that requires money to get started with and not as much time. Now, if you're willing to use both time and money, then content and paid ads together is the best combination to scale your med spa. So now that you're advertising every single day, how do you actually have a brand that is unique and makes people choose you over the competition? There's a lot of different ways that you can differentiate your business. Number one is skill. So be the best at a particular service in your area. So, for example, you might be the best liquid rhinoplasty artist in your city. Secondly, there's rarity. So you could be the only one with a particular service in your area. So instead of being the best liquid rhinoplasty artist in your city or your area, you might be the only one that does it. Now, it's a pretty rare service. So that's another way to uniquely differentiate from the competition. Another one is personality. So showcasing your team, or if you don't have a team and it's just you, showcasing your personality online. And this gets people to know, like, and trust you before they come and visit your med spa. Now, everyone has a different favorite person, so there's no best personality. All of them are unique because you're somebody's favorite person, and it's not an objective metric. So this means it's harder for people to copy you, and no matter which angle you approach things from, someone is going to find you to be their favorite place to come to. The fourth one is post things that only you can post. So, for example, an example of what not to do would be to post generic Canva images like 3 facts about Botox, because anybody can make that, and it doesn't compel someone to think that, wow, I really want to go and book with this med spa. So things that only you could post would be things like, here's a day in my life as an aesthetic injector. Now, anyone could post a day in a life, but they're not you. So it's unique to you. How I help this client treat TMJ with Botox. Again, anyone can post a video with that title, but they're not you and they don't have your client, right? At least at this exact time. And any before and afters, the more before and afters you can have, the better, because they're unique to you. It's your work. It's nobody else's, so nobody else can copy it. And the more you do that, the more unique your brand is, and the harder it is to copy. So now that you're advertising every single day and you're doing it in a unique way that builds your brand the right way, then we need to sell people. So we need to get them to give us money, right? So sales is an entire topic, and that could be covered at length for days and days. But if I wanted to boil it down into the simplest form of exactly what to say, so just say these words and make more money, then this is what it would be. So this is the framework that we've used, and we've gotten our clients over 1,000 prepaid appointments. So not just like, oh, schedule a consultation and then just forget about it and not show up. No, these are 1,000 people who actually committed and paid $50 to $100 over the phone to us for their filler or Botox appointments. And this is within the last 10 months. So this sales stuff that we're using definitely does work to some extent. And this is how it works. So we use this closer framework. I'll run through it very quickly. I do have a full video on this that I would definitely watch, but the 60-second breakdown is this. So C is for clarify why they clicked on our ad. So if it was for lip filler, for example, you'd say, hey, what is it about your lips that you'd like to change that made you want to click on an ad for lip filler, right? Then L is label the problem. So they'll probably say something like, they're pretty thin right now, and I want to add some volume. So we label that saying, okay, so your lips are small right now, and we want to make them have more volume, bigger, or whatever. Then overview what they tried in the past. So overview the past experience. So simply ask them, have you tried anything in the past to add volume to your lips? That's the O. S, sell the benefits, not the features. So that would be something like, all of our clients who come in to get the lip filler, they leave with more confidence and more compliments from their friends. Those are benefits. Features would be something like talking about the aftercare kit or the numbing cream. Those are things that we don't want to talk about as much as the feelings and the stays that they get from getting this service. The E is for explain away their concerns. So if they have any concerns, maybe they think it's too expensive or they might be afraid of getting needles. We want to explain that away. So if it was too expensive, we could talk about payment plans. If it was the pain or the needles, we could talk about the numbing cream, making that pain very minimal for them. And then lastly, R, which is reinforce their decision for booking with us. If they go ahead and book, we want to make sure that we don't just think the job is done. We want to actually keep them excited for their appointment by saying we can't wait to see you and your results, and we're excited to meet you, something like that. And that's a very quick breakdown of something that could be said in a lot more words. But once you have this process in place, which I have a full video on, which I think you should watch, then you're going to have all three things that you need to grow your med spa. So if you've tried ads and they didn't work, the ads may have been good or they may have been not good, but either way, you need all three of these things for long term growth and success with your med spa.